Hi kids, how would you like this poster from Children's Video Encyclopedia for your very own? To find out how to get this awesome poster, stick around. I'll give you more information at the end of the program, so get a pencil and paper ready. You may even want to ask your mom or dad to help you out. See you then.
I know Australia's most secret animal.
What is it?
You'll have to search for it, but I'll give you a clue. The secret animal is active at dawn and dusk.
Kangaroos are most active at dawn and dusk and rest during the day. Kangaroos are the largest marsupials in the world. Marsupials are animals that have pouches. When the mother gives birth, the baby kangaroo climbs its way into the mother's pouch. Baby kangaroos are called joeys. They stay inside the pouch until they are ready to become independent. Even after they've begun to hop about, they still seek the safety of their mother's pouch.
There are many different types of kangaroo living right across Australia, even just outside the big cities, and they all have strong tails which help them balance. Although kangaroos are gentle and don't hunt or kill other animals, male kangaroos can become aggressive when trying to attract females. Kangaroos fight by leaning back on their tails and kicking out with their strong legs.
The red kangaroo is the largest and can bound at speeds of over 50 kilometres an hour. Kangaroos eat grass and plants and live in large family groups. Is the kangaroo the secret animal?
No, you've only just started. Keep on searching.
Fairy penguins are also active at dawn and dusk. Fairy penguins swim out to sea every morning for a day of fishing and return home at dusk to feed their hungry chicks. Most penguins are found in the Antarctic, but fairy penguins are found on the southern coast of Australia. They are the smallest penguins in the world, and like others in their family, they're excellent swimmers. When they get tired, fairy penguins float on the surface. The fairy penguin is one of the few birds in the world that can't fly.
Penguins and kangaroos like to live in groups. The secret animal prefers to live alone. That's your next clue.
The Tasmanian Devil prefers to live alone. The Tasmanian Devil is not as aggressive or as ferocious as it looks. They snarl when fighting over food, but they will rarely hurt each other. Tasmanian Devils live in burrows or hollow logs, and usually come out at night. They have very strong teeth, and although they are small in size, can weigh up to 12 kilos.
Like the Tasmanian Devil, the secret animal also sleeps in a burrow.
During the day, the wombat sleeps in its burrow. Wombats are powerful diggers and make their burrows in riverbanks. Wombats have pouches for their young. The pouch faces backwards, so it won't fill up with dirt when the wombat digs. Wombats generally come out at dusk and feed throughout the night. They eat grasses and leaves.
Wombats are gentle animals, but they will become aggressive if their territory is threatened. Wombats do prefer to live alone, but this isn't the animal you're looking for.
What's another clue?
The secret animal can eat its food with one gulp.
If the secret animal can eat its food with one gulp, it might be a fish. The stingray relies on its sense of smell to find food. Its eyesight isn't very good. It has a sting on the end of its tail, which it uses to defend itself. Of all the marine animals, there is one that has a reputation as the most powerful and fearsome. Sharks have excellent hearing and smell. They can smell blood from over a kilometre away. Sharks can also sense waves of pressure through the water. They have sensitive cells along the sides of their bodies. They can sense the movements of animals in the water and can even tell if the animal is injured. The saltwater crocodile also eats its prey with a single gulp. They live in the saltwater rivers in Australia. Saltwater crocodiles rest during the day and hunt for their food at night. They eat fish, birds, and even large mammals. They are very good swimmers and can also run quite fast on land. Saltwater crocodiles are the largest reptiles in the world. They can be very dangerous, and there have been many reports of swimmers being eaten by these ferocious animals.
Does the saltwater crocodile store its food in cheek pouches?
No? Why?
The secret animal does.
The pelican can hold up to 10 litres of fish and water in a skin pouch in its bill. Pelicans eat fish, prawns, tadpoles and frogs. A group of pelicans sometimes makes a circle around a school of fish to stop them escaping. Pelicans are found all over Australia where there are rivers and lakes. Pelicans can drink rainwater by holding their bills wide open, sometimes for as long as 10 minutes. Pelicans spend most of their time on the water, but they are also graceful flyers and can fly as high as 3 kilometres.
Pelicans have lived in Australia for over 40 million years, but they're not Australia's most secret animal.
Is the secret animal a bird, like the pelican?
It might be. It can certainly look like a bird.
Australia has many unique birds. Perhaps one of them is the secret animal. Among the birds of Australia, there are many from the parrot family. Parrots, such as rosellas, galahs and cockatoos, are colourful and noisy birds. The Kookaburra is another Australian bird. The blue-winged Kookaburra lives in the tropical north of Australia. The Kookaburra has a call very similar to the sound of a person laughing. The laughing call tells other birds to stay out of the Kookaburra's territory. Kookaburras are the largest members of the kingfisher family. Unlike most others in this family, the Kookaburra eats snakes, lizards and insects, but not fish.
Are there any Australian birds that are well camouflaged? The secret animal is often very hard to find.
The tawny frogmouth has perfect camouflage. It can look just like a broken tree branch. People often walk right next to a tawny frogmouth in a tree without realising it's there. Is this the secret animal?
No, but I'll give you another clue. The secret animal is found near water.
Ducks need water to survive. Like pelicans, they feed from rivers and lakes. Ducks are waterfowl. They all have webbed feet, which help them to swim, although this makes them awkward on land. Ducks use their long flat bills to look for food on the river bottom.
Ducks can fly. The secret animal can't.
Australia has a few birds that can't fly. Emus can't fly, but they can run up to 50 kilometres an hour. Emus have lived in Australia for millions of years. After the emu's chicks are born, they are cared for by the father. What does an emu have in common with a camel?
I don't know. What?
They eat large amounts of food, which they store as fat in their bodies. That's how they can go without food for long periods of time. Living in the harsh Australian outback, emus sometimes have to travel hundreds of kilometres searching for food.
Emus also need water and can't go without it for long. But the emu isn't the animal you're looking for.
I know another Australian bird that can't fly. The cassowary can't fly. Cassowaries live in rainforests in the north of Australia. They have a horn on top of their head, which helps to protect them when they run through the rainforest. Cassowaries defend themselves by kicking out with their powerful legs. The cassowary prefers to live alone. Is it the secret animal?
The cassowary has feathers, doesn't it?
Yes, why?
The secret animal has fur.
I know of an Australian animal that lives near water, and it has a coat of fur. If the secret animal has fur, it might be the Australian fur seal. It lives by the sea, and its body is covered with fur. Fur seals are sensitive to heat, and spend much of their time on land, resting in the shade on rocks. Male fur seals can often be seen fighting as they compete with one another to attract females. Fur seals are awkward on land, but they are excellent swimmers and can dive up to 100 metres below the surface. Fur seals have very strong teeth and are good hunters. They eat fish, squid, and other small sea animals.
I'd go back to the mainland if I were you. You won't find the secret animal in the ocean surrounding Australia.
What about the koala? It's a very furry animal. Koalas are marsupials, but they are often wrongly thought of as bears. They live most of their lives in eucalyptus trees, which provide the koalas with all their food. They eat about half a kilo of leaves every day. Koalas don't drink. They get all the moisture they need from the leaves. When threatened, koalas will fight using their claws, but they are mostly quiet and gentle animals, until the mating season, when the male koalas make loud roaring sounds to impress the females. Baby koalas stay in their mother's pouches for about 6 months, and then ride around on their mother's backs.
Koalas are slow-moving animals and are awkward on the ground, but they are very strong climbers and have powerful claws to grip onto tree branches.
Koalas sleep up to 18 hours a day. Some people think that the eucalyptus in the leaves drugs the koalas, but they actually sleep so much because their diet is poor.
The koala isn't the secret animal. Here's your next clue. The secret animal has a tail.
Maybe it's the dingo. Dingoes are members of the dog family. Unlike other dogs, dingoes can't bark, but they can yelp and howl. Dingoes are also different to other dogs because their ears are always standing up. Dingoes are hunters and will look for food in packs or alone. Many Australian animals are wary of the dingo. Among their prey are possums, wombats, and kangaroos. They are very strong and powerful with large teeth. Because they also prey on farm animals, dingoes themselves are hunted as a pest by farmers in the outback.
Dingoes live in family groups. Don't forget, The secret animal prefers to live alone. Here's another clue. The secret animal has spurs on its body.
Could this be the secret animal? The Spurwinged Plover has a spur on each wing. Their bright yellow spurs have two purposes. They're part of the male's courtship display and also part of the Spurwinged Plover's defence. If it's threatened, the plover will run at its attacker, using its spur as a weapon. Spurwinged plovers have loud screeching calls, and they live near water.
But this isn't the secret animal. The secret animal isn't a bird.
It sounds like a very unusual animal. What's another clue?
It's not a bird, but I told you it can look like a bird. That's because it hatches out of an egg.
So it must be a reptile. They're the only other animal family that lays eggs. Snakes are reptiles. Some of the snakes that live in Australia have a poisonous bite. They eat their food whole by dislocating their jaws. This allows their mouths to open so wide they can even eat animals much larger than themselves.
The secret animal isn't a snake, but it can be ferocious.
If the secret animal can be ferocious, it might be a monitor, like the goanna. Monitors are large lizards with strong legs, clawed toes, and forked tongues. The goanna is a ferocious hunter of rabbits, lizards, and even snakes. Goannas themselves are not poisonous, and if frightened, they will usually run away. Goannas are quite fast and are also known as racehorse monitors. For thousands of years, goannas have been a source of food for Australian Aborigines. The bearded dragon certainly looks ferocious, but that's really just a defence, to scare away any threatening animals. Bearded dragons eat insects, spiders, and caterpillars. They also scare other animals away from their territory by bobbing their heads up and down. Bearded dragons are good climbers. Like other reptiles, they are cold-blooded animals. They like to bask in the sun to keep warm. At the first sign of danger, the bearded dragon puffs up with air and raises its spikes. It opens its jaws wide to show its bright yellow mouth and teeth. It also expands the skin around its neck to make it look larger and more fearsome.
Here's another clue. The secret animal is a mammal.
But you said it lays eggs.
It does.
But mammals don't lay eggs.
Some mammals belong to the monotreme family, and they do lay eggs.
The echidna. This must be it. It's a monotreme, and the male has a spur on its ankle. Echidnas are covered in spines, but they also have fur, and they are active at dusk and dawn. They like to live near water. They swim using their long snout like a snorkel. They sometimes dig burrows. And they prefer to live alone. This must be the secret animal. Is it?
What do they eat?
They eat ants and termites. They have long, sticky tongues, which they use to find food. Echidnas also have pouches for their young. When the mother gives birth, she lays a single egg in her pouch. The baby hatches in about 10 days and stays inside the pouch until its spines begin to appear. The spines protect the echidna. They will roll up into a ball if threatened. This is the secret animal, isn't it? It fits all the clues.
No, it's not. I'll give you one more clue. The secret animal hunts for its food underwater.
Then it can only be one animal. The platypus.
You're right. The platypus is Australia's most secret animal and one of the most unusual animals in the world. The platypus hunts underwater, catching its food with a single gulp and storing it in cheek pouches. It probes a river bottom with its sensitive bill, looking for worms, shrimps and mollusks. The platypus's bill is so sensitive that it can pick up electricity generated by the movement of a shrimp. The platypus is unique. Its body is covered with dense waterproof fur, and the male platypus has a spur on his ankle. Not much is known about this spur, but it's thought that it may be used to inject poison into larger animals. The platypus is a monotreme, an egg-laying mammal. It has a bill and webbed feet like a duck, and a tail like a beaver.
The platypus looks so strange that when the body of one was brought back to England in 1798, people thought it was a fake and had been stitched together from bits and pieces of other animals.
Although it's thought of as an animal that lives in water, in fact the platypus spends only about 2 hours each day in the water. It lives in burrows dug by the side of rivers and creeks.
The platypus closes its ears and eyes when it swims underwater. It's very buoyant and often has to anchor itself to rocks underwater so that it won't float to the surface. If it does appear on the surface, it's well camouflaged and looks like a massive waterweed.
The platypus is active at dawn and dusk. Although they're sometimes seen in pairs, they generally prefer to live alone. They are very secretive and hard to find, but they're not thought to be endangered.
The platypus certainly deserves to be called Australia's most secret animal.